Hey, it's Z, and I'm back with some more Zilosophy for you. But before I start today, I just want to give a quick shout out to Principal McAllister at the Chenery Middle School in Belmont for commissioning this series of videos for his students to use as curriculum during their weekly community block. But more especially for asking me to share it in a broader spectrum and put it on my website and put it on my YouTube channel so that more people could benefit from these conversations. So thanks, Mike, for the foresight. Today, we're going to talk about perfection. Oh my God, right? So in my book, Zilosophy on Golf, chapter 2 is called Practice Doesn't Make Perfect. By the way, that book is available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and audiobook. I hope McAllister doesn't cut my funding for the cheap ad I just did there. Anyhow, we're going to get back to perfection. So from that chapter of my book, there's two concepts that I want to explore today. One, perfection is unattainable. We're human beings. We all make mistakes. That's never going to stop. And two, it's about practicing the things that allow us to be our best. So let's dive into that. All right, so the first thing is that we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We can't be perfect. The job is not to try and be perfect. It's to try and do our best. And so we need to give up that we're going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And then when we make mistakes, two things that can really bring us down are that we can be so self-critical that we get stuck there, or the opposite of that, where we just blame someone or something else and that we don't pay attention and learn. So when we make a mistake, the thing is really to own it, learn, and move on. Quick example, I was just at Chenery Middle School doing a talk for sixth graders there last week. And this girl said, "Hey, isn't kindness spelt with two N's?" And I looked behind me, and of course I had misspelled kindness. I owned it, and then I moved on. But what I didn't do was turn it into a teachable moment, which I'll do now. In that situation, I have to own that I made a mistake. It's okay. They know what I meant, that I meant to write kindness. But I should learn to be more careful when I write things on school boards so that I communicate more clearly, right? So it's really just that simple that, hey, I made a mistake. It's okay. We're all going to make mistakes. No big deal. We all have a laugh and then we move on. And then the second part of perfection is realizing, again, it's about doing our best. So how do we practice the things that make us our best? We've talked a lot about that in the first 3 videos. Self-awareness, honest self-evaluation, making good choices, kindness, inclusivity. You know, in the grammatical sense, it's practicing communication. You know, there's the grammar police out there that like to stop and tell us, "Oh yes, you really should use an Oxford comma in this instance." And I get it. I'm a writer. I'm kind of a grammar nerd too. But the thing is that grammar is not that important. What's important is how we communicate with each other. So again, talking about perfection, we're not going to be grammatically perfect all the time. And we're not doing our best when we're pointing out the flaws in others. Sure, there's a case where you say, hey, someone's asking you for feedback on their grammar, you give it to them. But unsolicited feedback on people's mistakes and flaws is generally not helpful to them, and it's generally not helpful to us. So it's about us focusing on the things that allow us to be our best. And when we're looking at what other people are doing wrong, we're not looking at the places where we make mistakes, which identify the areas where we can learn more about where we need to put our attention to bring our best to whatever it is we do. So to wrap up, again, perfection is unattainable. We have to allow ourselves the space to make mistakes. And we need to own those mistakes and learn from them so that the next time that situation comes up, we can bring our best to it. I can spell kindness right. You can use that Oxford comma. The bottom line is that we should support each other to do our best. And more importantly, we should take ownership of owning our mistakes and thinking about the things and practicing the things that allow us to bring our best to whatever it is we do.